Hi, I'm Fran Maxwell, the founder and managing director of Sankofa Leadership, and welcome to Coaching for Change. This is our mini webinar series designed to work some quick tools, tips, and hacks into your day to help you evolve your person-centered practice. In this episode, we're going to talk about the habit of reflective listening, what it really means to go beyond hearing words, why it's so hard to stay present in conversations, and how listening reflectively can transform the way that we coach, lead, and support others. But first, let me introduce Sankofa Leadership. We are here to help you reinvent the wheel. Human services are nothing new, but they require bold, innovative approaches that honor the lived experiences of those served, with honesty, curiosity, and a commitment to equitable solutions. That's why we work with organizations nationwide to help them fully embrace person-centered methods that reimagine service delivery in care, coaching, leadership, and family-centered collaboration. Before we jump in, we know you're going to hear something that you love. So do us a favor and hit that like, share, and subscribe button to help us spread this person-centered approach far and wide. Now, let's get started. Most of us don't realize that there's a difference between hearing and listening. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a nerd right here and tell you what hearing is. Hearing is automatic. It's when sound waves hit your ear and your brain registers the noise. Listening is intentional. It's when you tune in, reflect back, and make sure that you really understand the meaning of it. And as I prepped for this episode, I learned something pretty wild. Did you know that our brains can process up to 400 words a minute? But the average person only speaks at about 125 words per minute. No wonder listening, and let alone deep and reflective listening, is so hard for most of us. It's not that we're terrible people. It's not that our brains are rude. It's just that people are talking too slow. I'm kidding. Kinda. The real issue is that we have not trained our brains to slow down and tune into the moment. And that's why reflective listening is kind of a superpower. It slows us down and pulls us into the present moment and transforms everyday conversations into opportunities for connection and clarity. And if you're ready to activate that superpower in your coaching or leadership, stay tuned. This talk's for you. In our last episode, we talked about the habit of pausing before you fix. Not only do we want to pause, but as coaches, we want to truly listen. Reflective listening goes deeper than just being a friendly hearing ear. It's being an active participant in the conversation that the speaker is having with you and with themselves. You hear me, but are you listening? Take a moment and think about the last time you had to call customer service. Mistake number one. Why am I having a call? Why isn't there a chat option? Am I right? Anyway, so you're on the phone, carefully explaining your issue in great detail, laying out the whole backstory, and then the rep cuts you off and gives you an answer that doesn't even fit the problem that you're facing. And sometimes it's not even that they rush into a solution. It's that generic copy-paste response that lets you know that they were not tuned in. I mean, at that point, what makes that response any different from a chatbot? Now, before we clown them too hard, let's be real. We've all been on the other side a time or two. Doing the dishes while someone's talking, scrolling our phones, half listening while we fire off an email. Where I come from, we call that multitasking. But here's the kicker. It's something that completely shocked me as a master multitasker. Our brains actually can't multitask. Stanford researchers have shown that your brain only switches rapidly between tasks. It doesn't do them at the same time. So every time you toggle back and forth, you lose pieces of meaning. And the numbers don't lie. Studies have shown that multitasking can cut your comprehension by up to 40%. Another study, in case you need one, found that multitasking listeners misinterpret or flat out miss about 30% of what was said, which means when you think you're listening, you might only be catching half of the picture and most of it is wrong. Now, is it your fault that your brain works this way? Well, of course not, but it is our responsibility to make different choices if we want to be more person-centered. Say it with me, because reflective listening isn't just about hearing the words. It's about putting down the distractions, being present, and creating a real human connection. And for the neurodivergent folks like me, you might experience listening and attention differently. Sometimes our brains crave multiple inputs, or sometimes you hyper-focus and notice details no one else would notice. But the research is clear across the board, and this blew my mind. When we try to juggle too much, comprehension drops. I know it might feel like you're tuned in, you're tapped in, you heard everything. Whether your brain runs on coffee, chaos, or calm, reflective listening asks for us all to put down the distractions and be fully present. Hey, when you're ready to bring this information to your organization and join the growing number of individuals and organizations across the country embracing person-centered practices in care, coaching, and leadership, we'd love to partner with you. Visit our website and get more information now at www.sankofaleadership.com. You can also find valuable tools and resources there as well. So after hearing all those Snapple facts about how our brains wander, here's the shift. Reflective listening is about slowing down our brains. It's not just hearing the words, it's also processing the context in which those words were spoken. So give your brain more to do. That's not that hard. Rather than sitting there waiting for your turn to talk, put your whole self into the moment. Listen with your ears and catch the words that are actually spoken. Listen with your eyes. Notice expression, body language, and posture. Listen with your heart. Bring along our good friends, empathy and sympathy. Also, our good buddy, curiosity. And also throw in a touch of that good old-fashioned, non-judgmental understanding. Reflective listening is a full body practice. It's you tuning in with everything you've got so that other people feel fully heard. Can I keep it real? Y'all know that's what we like to do here. Now I know what someone's thinking. Here we go again. We're about to hear another talk about active listening. We're about to hear about how you need to listen with your eyes and your ear. Yes, all of those things are true. And so are the facts that I share with you. And I could spit facts at you all day, but I'm simply just trying to make a case here. Reflective listening is powerful. It can transform everything. You listening and helping someone identify a limiting belief, fears that they have, values that are important to them, the vision that they have of the future can change a person's life. So slow down, tune in, and be present. And that's me being real. As a matter of fact, presence itself is a practice. That's why mindfulness and meditation practices can be helpful and meaningful to coaches and leaders. They train your brain to slow down, notice the moment, and stay with what is actually happening and not rush ahead. Reflective listening borrows from the same discipline. It's making the choice to be here right now with the person who's sharing with you. Remember, decide to be present. Don't slide back into your defaults. And when you listen this way, you pick up on more than just the surface story. You'll pick up on things like those limiting beliefs. You know what a limiting belief is. Those I can't or people like me don't statements, those are statements that give a clue that someone might be holding themselves back. It also exposes hopes and dreams. It can tell you about the vision that they have for the future, even if it only hints at it. It also shows us their values, what really matters to them, the things that show up over and over in their life. And lastly, it points us in the direction of their fears, the risks they're afraid of, and the outcomes they want to avoid. Listening in this way doesn't just help you understand the problem, it helps you understand the person. And that's the key difference between hearing and reflective listening. Hearing notices the words. Reflective listening acknowledges the full human experience. This is a part I really love about reflective listening. The real power of reflective listening is that you get to act as a mirror for someone else. I'll give you a personal example. I used to have a terrible habit of getting dressed in a hurry and leaving the house without looking in the mirror. I used to think since the clothes look good on a hanger, they're bound to look good on me. It's all good. I'm gonna head out. Most of the time I'd be halfway to work before I noticed that my shirt was wrinkled or that my pants weren't quite sitting right. Now the mirror couldn't change my outfit, but it does give me a clue into the things I can adjust. Reflective listening works the same way. When you reflect someone's words back, you're holding up a mirror. You're giving them an opportunity to check if what they're saying matches what they actually mean. And that's powerful because most people don't realize what they're saying until somebody reflects it back. And the reflection isn't just about repeating their exact words. It's about restating what you heard in your own language and then confirming, did I get that right? That's how you make sure you're both on the same page. The bottom line is reflective listening is about being the mirror, not the fixer. So as we wrap up this episode, here's your one thing to try. This week, I want you to try to wait 3 full seconds. I mean, full. I want you to do the 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I want 3 full seconds of you holding the silence before you jump in with the response. Don't be afraid of the silence. Sometimes the pause is actually the space needed for a revelation to come through. And when you do respond, practice saying, what I heard you say was, insert what you heard them say. Did I get that right? I get it. It might feel awkward at first, but trust me, it builds trust fast. And it trains your brain to stay with the speaker instead of rushing ahead with a response. Think of it as a mini mindfulness exercise, training yourself to pause, reflect, and stay with the moment. Here's the thing I want you to remember. Reflective listening isn't passive, it's active. It's not about being silent. It's about being present enough to mirror back what you heard and give the other person space to confirm or adjust. Because the truth is, people don't just need to be heard. They need to feel heard. And that's powerful. Well, that's it for this episode. Please join us for the live recording of Coaching for Change, which happens the second Wednesday of every month. Check the link in the description box below to register now. Whether you're a coach, a leader, or someone trying to work better with others, pull up. There's no camera required, so just bring your lunch and come reflect with us. Sankofa partners with individuals and organizations across the country to adopt and deepen their person-centered practice, transforming how support is delivered at every level. And when you're ready to bring this work to your team and join the growing movement toward person-centered care, coaching, leadership, and family-centered collaboration, we'd love to partner with you. So visit us at www.sankofaleadership.com to connect with us and start designing your learning goals today. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.